that is AI going to take away the jobs? Yes, it is taking away the jobs. People are sending 2 to 3 long pages of resume to the company. Company doesn't have time to read such long resumes of 2 to 3 pages.
What are the few mistakes that candidates make while giving the interview?
So these are very important things when you are going for the interview, how you are presenting yourself. Ultimately, in that 15-minute, 20-minute interview, you are selling yourself, your skills, your experience.
A lot of
So
people having that mindset that my work will speak for me. But why can't you speak for your work as well? Do you think that gap in resume also somewhere affects the chances of hiring of a candidate?
LinkedIn is literally taking the market. It is speaking volumes about your professional
So,
journey.
what do you suggest is the right way for salary negotiation? Hey, Lavisha, thank you so much for joining this podcast.
Hi, Zahi. Most welcome and thank you for inviting. And I'm excited to share a lot of questions and my recruitment journey and help others who are looking for job, the job seeker, recruitment market. I would be excited to share my experience in this.
So, before we begin the discussion, I would like you to tell us about yourself, what exactly you're doing right now, why did you choose this profession? Please go ahead.
So basically, I am into recruitment and talent acquisition and career market, and having more than 6+ years of experience. So the reason for choosing this profession was that I have great communication skills and I know how to present myself, and I love networking. So you when you enjoy your job. When you understand your strength and you try to choose a career, so life becomes pretty smooth. Ultimately, when you are choosing a career, your job, you need to enjoy the market, you need to understand the dynamics. And given with what AI is coming up, so it's better that you should be enjoying what you are doing in life. Otherwise, if you choose something where you feel it's very monotonous, you're not enjoying, so you won't have any growth. So the reason I chose this career, I started understanding the recruitment market. I understand the different industries. I understand the different stages of career. I love networking with the candidates. I love networking with companies. I like to understand their requirement. I like to help people, in getting a right job and based on their interest and skills again. So you know, this was the reason I chose this career for myself, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, great. At least, like, I see a lot of people who work, but they don't enjoy it. So glad that you are into it, like your heart is into it and you're doing it. So I find very few people, huh? Otherwise, normally when I speak to people, like employees, they are like, करना है just because for money. तो वो चीज़ नहीं होनी चाहिए. So
Unless you don't enjoy your job, you won't get the growth in life. So
there is
you should
no point.
learn, you should understand your interest. Yeah.
Yeah, क्योंकि you're spending most of your time in your job. So I feel that I really believe in it that it should do something you love.
Yeah, because almost 8 to 9 hours, 10 hours a day, every day from Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday, you're slogging. So, and it's just not you should be doing a routine work. You should, for the company, understand how much you can add value, how much you can give them. Okay. The company is not recruiting you because, okay, there's a vacancy. They are recruiting you to understand how fit you are for that role. They want to, you know, uh, they are expecting what new can you bring for them. Okay. So you need to enjoy your job because unless and until you don't enjoy that work, you won't have that growth. You won't be able to sustain in that job. And then, you will always be in a position that, okay, I'm just a job seeker and I don't know what I'm going to do in my life. So it's better to understand your skills, strength, and then apply for the jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lavisha, as you mentioned AI, so do you think HR will not be impacted by AI? And what are the jobs which will be impacted by AI?
See, one of the biggest fears of job seekers in the market is AI changing, is going to take away our jobs.
Yeah.
That's the biggest fear. Will AI take away our jobs? The answer is yes, AI can take away your jobs. But again, the second answer is that are you willing to learn the AI tools? Okay. Now, my first answer was that is AI going to take away the jobs? Yes, it is taking away the jobs specifically just for the entry roles. Okay, the admin related jobs. Okay, jobs which are rule based. You know, you can easily give a rule to AI, just give them a prompt, and AI is going to do your job. With data processing, admin related, just the basic data entry jobs. AI is definitely taking away those jobs, but on the other hand, if I tell you, AI is also creating new opportunities. So my answer is, are you willing to learn AI tools, and are you willing to work in the market as per the AI tools which have come in the market? See, AI is just a part. Another section is also your communication skills, your growth, how you present yourself, how are you able to solve the problem for the company? How are you able to identify? So AI is just an add-on for you. You need to just upgrade yourself, learn some specific tools, make yourself more valuable for the job. So that's how AI is now working in the market. Maybe I'll talk more in my next questions how AI is changing more dynamics in the market. See, coming to the, you also asked about the HR, that how is AI changing the dynamics for the HR? See, I'll tell you, we have a lot of companies, right? From multinational companies to mid-sized companies to startups. Okay. So how is AI changing the role? Initially every company has a very big HR team. So HR, what it does is thousands of applications come from different career sites, from LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed, or maybe their own career pages. So do you think HR really there is a has a time to who's going to go through those hundreds of applications, 2 3 pages of CV? No. AI, what AI is changing the dynamics is, now lot of tools have come wherein even if thousands of applications are coming up, okay, there are specific tools who are matching the job description with the CVs. Only the top shortlisted candidates, AI is giving those CVs to the HR team. Then the HR team is doing the screening, the scouting, and taking the second, third round of interview. So practically, is AI taking away your job? AI is definitely taking the entry level, the data entry kind of jobs. But if you have the skills and if you have upgraded yourself learning AI tools, then AI is not taking away your job. It is, in fact, adding more in your career. But yes, the first level of work definitely AI is doing. Please understand, work on your CVs. Just don't randomly add anything on your CVs. Don't make such a long, boring CV. Make sure you have technical skills added on your CV, the right set of responsibilities and skills and experiences added, because AI is doing the first round of screening in most of the companies now. AI is definitely checking if your skills are aligning with that job description, it is passing it on to the real HR team. If your skills are not matching, you have just downloaded some generic CV and applied it on that job, even if you are not, you're not capable for that job, you are not, your skills are not aligning, and you have just randomly applied. So understand, AI has rejected you. It's not the company. You are being directly rejected by AI only.
Okay.
So
So
that's how AI is playing a very big game.
AI can also make mistake while screening.
Yes, AI does make mistakes. Why? See, ultimately, AI is a robot. Okay, it's not a human being. Okay, and AI is just a tool which is created by human beings. Okay, so if your CV is very generic, it's not having the skills. So, and AI is, the tools are not being able to understand your CV. So even AI can make mistakes. Okay, AI is not God. AI is just a tool, so it depends on, these tools are created by we human beings also. So it can make mistakes, but it only makes mistake because you have created something wrong and you have given something wrong to AI. And that is why AI is not being able to understand.
Yeah. But on the company part, there are probability like we might lose onto some good candidates because of the AI screening, isn't it?
It can be a possibility, but again, I will say it's not really in all the cases. See, what happens is when AI gives the first round of CVs, okay, where which are 100% matching the job description. So what happens is the HR calls up those candidates even after the interview. They are not satisfied with the on the technical round, on the screening round, or on the written assessment round. So what they will do is they themselves, the HRs, will start looking for other CVs also. Okay. So it's not always that HR is relying completely on the AI. Okay. It doesn't has just one tool. They are trying to rectify from different tools, whether, see, even if you're 60 to 70% of your CV is matching with that job now. So what happens is HR does give you a call, it does gives you a chance. Okay. It's not that it's giving you a guarantee, okay, 100% CV is matching, I'll only call up those candidates. Lot of things matter. See, another important thing matter is, for example, if the specific job is in Mumbai location, the candidate who has applied is from, say, he's from Delhi or Karnataka, from Bangalore. And in the CV, nowhere it's mentioned that he's willing to relocate. It is just he's applied for the job. Okay, but nowhere in the cover letter on the CV it's mentioned that, okay, I'm willing to relocate. And AI has not seen this thing. AI is just checking, okay, the skills and responsibilities, everything is matching. Okay, it tells the HR that you can take the interview. But what happens is when real time screening round comes, when the HR starts checking the CVs, so what it does is it sees, okay, this candidate is not from this particular location, and they are looking specifically the Mumbai candidates. So at that time, the HR work also increases at that point of time. Then they start looking for candidates who are localized, who are from that specific location. So yeah, AI also does mistakes, and HR is always doing their job by trying to figure out the right fit for the right role.
Okay. And what are the few mistakes that candidates do while creating their resume?
Okay, lot of mistakes. What I based on my experience, lot of mistakes are being made randomly by the candidates nowadays. Firstly, all of them are creating a generic AI resume and randomly applying everywhere. Okay, see, when you are applying for a particular role, you should always make sure that your CV is tailored as per that job description, as per the skills. But what I feel is that everyone is just creating a very generic resume. Okay. Then the next common mistake is that people are sending 2 to 3 long pages of resume to the company. Company doesn't have time to read such long resumes of 2 to 3 pages. Number three is the job description is asking something else, their skills are talking something else. Don't do all these mistakes. Make sure when you are sending your resume, make sure you should have those relevant skills marked. Remember, the first impression is the last impression. Your CV is talking about you. So make sure when you are sending your resume to any company, you should be talking only and only about those skills rather than just sending your generic resume and your cover. Some other common mistakes which I find in resume and cover letters is the cover letter is addressed for XYZ company and they have applied for ABC company. So imagine when we are reading the resume, it has been addressed to some other company and the CV has been forwarded to ABC company. So there are a lot of mistakes. Okay, another thing is spelling errors, poor formatting. So when you are sending the resume, imagine what impression will the HR team or will the employers must be having that if the resume has so many spelling errors, if the resume is poorly formatted, what is this person going to come and do in my job? So these are a lot of common mistakes which people make, lengthy resumes, poorly formatted resumes and all of it.
Yeah, and while you were telling this, I had constant smile on my face because जब हम apply कर रहे थे अपने job के लिए, तो I used to like ask for the resume from my friends कि तू अपना resume भेज दे, and we will edit the same resume. वहाँ पे name details change कर दिया, बाकी जो भी skills है, everything is same. That's why I was like, ये
Don't do
क्या है?
that. Job market is very bad. Please don't do that, because now as it is, people are just randomly applying for any job without looking at the job descriptions. And above that, if your CV is so poorly formatted, so it is going to, your CV is your first impression, and if your resume is only not perfect, so imagine, you will just be assured that you will be rejected. You will never be called upon the interviews. Now, thousands of people, they reach out to me on LinkedIn and they say that, I have applied for so many jobs, but I'm not getting a single interview call. And I'm like, okay, but have you understood from your end, why? What is the reason behind it? Why you're not getting a single interview call? So then I understand the biggest mistakes is that, for example, I'll talk about a specific industry, law industry, and person has the experience of litigation. He's applying for a corporate job, but his CV is only and only speaking about the litigation experience, and he's randomly applying in all the corporate law jobs. Which, so imagine, why will a recruiter or why will an employer hire you if you don't have the experience of corporate? If you have only and only experience about the litigation. Another example I'll take from an IT industry where job specifically, the job description says that we are looking someone for a cybersecurity analyst. Person from the data science is applying for that job, and they are coming and telling me I'm not getting a call for the interview. How do you expect to get a call for the interview where you are applying for wrong roles? You don't have the skills. You don't have you don't have the experience. You don't have the skills. Why will a recruiter call you and waste their time? Definitely your CVs are going to get rejected. So again, I would say applying for the right role for your right fit is important in the job industry.
Yeah. And what are the few mistakes that candidates make while giving the interview?
See, the common mistakes which candidates make while giving the interviews. See, I understand that, whether you have 5 years of experience or 10 years of experience, when the word interview literally comes, the first thing I see from the candidates is some are excited, some are nervous. Nervousness is very, very common thing. It's okay to feel nervous during the, interviews. It's a very generic thing. But the important thing is that when you are going for the interview, you should learn how to manage that nervousness. Okay, it's okay to be nervous, it is okay to be excited for a specific thing, but you should know how to, you know control your emotions. You should know how to manage that. Okay, see, what I feel is that, when you are going for the interview, make sure you have done your preparation, you have done your homework. Okay, when you are going for the interview, see, common thing when you are going for the interview, you should keep in mind that most common thing is, when you are going for an interview for a particular company, learn to understand what is this company about. People prepare for the interview, but they don't know what company is it about. So please, do that homework, learn to understand what is this company, who's the director of the company, what are the objectives of the company. Another thing is communication. The most important question, the first question which the employer asks, the HR asks during the interview, tell me about yourself. And people give long story. No one has the time to understand or interested to understand your background. You have to keep your answers very compact, concise, and important thing is, when be a good listener, understand what the question is, take 30 seconds of pause and then give the answer. Okay, so when you are, and that only comes with preparation. Sit in the house, prepare yourself, talk in front of the mirror. Okay, that how do I introduce myself? Take 30 seconds pause, understand the question, then give the response. It is okay to be nervous, it is understandable, but once you start practicing it, with over the time, you are going to overcome all these fears. Okay, another thing, what I again would recommend is, see, interviewer is not looking for any perfect human being. His important thing is that, okay, this is the vacancy, this is the position open in my company, is this candidate the right fit? Okay, so any Job seeker, when you are going for the job, no one is judging you that you are a perfect human being or not. They are just trying to figure out, are you perfect for this role or not? Okay. So when you are preparing for the interview, just keep all these things in mind. And again, you should know how to communicate. You know, times when person faces the interview, they have the skills, but they don't know how to present themselves. Their communication skills are very bad. See, YouTube is a very big platform. Google is a very big platform. AI tools have come. Start preparing those, start watching those small recorded versions of how to communicate properly, how to make your English better properly. So these are very important things when you are going for the interview, how you are presenting yourself. Ultimately, in that 15-minute, 20-minute interview, you are selling yourself, your skills, your experience. So it is very important when you face the interview.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, I see a lot of people having that mindset that my work will speak for me. But why can't you speak for your work as well? Because, in interviews and all, no one is going to see your real skills or your technical skills. Initial impression is through communication only. So, obviously, communication is the most important thing, I feel.
See, when you are going for the interview, as a candidate, as a job seeker, the top three skills you have to keep in mind is communication, again, then adaptability and problem solving. These are the three soft skills you should have in your mind. I understand technical skills are very important, but the first round of interview, nobody is going to talk about the technical skills. They will talk about, but initially, they are going to see how well you are presenting yourself, how well you are communicating. Okay, so many a times people have that confusion. What is in their mind? They are not being able to speak or put the exact words in front of the employer or in front of the HR team. So that is very important, how to communicate properly. Another thing which nowadays the employers look is adaptability. How well you can adapt in that new environment, how you can work well with the co-founders or also with your team. Another third important thing is problem solving skill. Many people identify the problem, but they don't have the solution for that problem. So you should have that problem solving skills in you. Technical skills are very important, but again, that varies from industry to industry. All right. But you should have these three skills. And the most important thing which I feel is you should be open to learning. See, every company, yes, your past skills and experience are important, but I feel every company have their own rules, own setup, everything. So you should make yourself very dynamic and open to learning something new from them. You should keep your ego aside. Oh, I have 10 years of experience. I have 15 years. Why should I learn? No. Even a person having 10 years of experience or 15 years or 6 years or 5 years, you should have this thing in your mind that I should always be open to learning. It is good for my growth. Okay, even it is okay if any junior is teaching you. Maybe they have much more better skills than you. So you should keep aside those egoistic, and judgmental qualities when you are in the job. You should be open to learning. It's for your growth, I think.
Okay, so Lavisha, there are a lot of women uh, who get on like take a career break after marriage, and it becomes very difficult for them to restart their work. There is, lack of confidence, nervousness, self-doubt. They question themselves like whether they'll be able to do it, or do they have the ability to again restart everything. So, what would you suggest them? What will be the tips that will help them to regain that confidence and restart?
See, personally, I feel any woman who's taking a career break, please stop keeping having those self doubts. Please stop having that. You should not have a doubt when you are on a career break. It is okay for any woman taking a career break for whatsoever is their personal reason. It is completely fine. Okay. Because nowadays, you have women who are working, who are managing the household, who are on managing their kids. So there are a lot of things happens. They have to take care of their families. There are a lot of things happening in their back end also. It is okay if you are on a career break. The important question comes after the career break when you come is what have you done during that career break? Okay. What was it that you were actually doing? See, what I always suggest women who are on career break is and now who want to come back and again get into the industry, want to get into a job, I always suggest those women is that when you are on career break, make sure that you do some certification course. Okay. Do learn some skill. Okay. At that point of time, don't waste your time. Whenever you're willing to come back in your job industry, whenever you are willing to get back into your work life, before that, make sure at least learn one or two certification courses, learn one or two skills. Okay. If you think that, okay, no, I don't want to do, go to these freelancing sites, try taking some freelance projects. Okay. Do some freelance gig work. What happens is when you are on career break, but still if you are trying to upgrade yourself, learning some new certification courses, you are upgrading yourself, or you have your own freelancing clients where you are doing some freelance work for them, so it is going to add a value to you. Okay. Another thing is when you are applying after a career break on a specific role, make sure you optimize your LinkedIn account. Make sure your CV is talking about your existing skills that you already have. So what happens is once, and many people, many women, when they are on career break and once after the career break, they apply for their roles. They always have that fear in mind. Oh, do I have to start from zero? No, you don't have to start from zero. You are going to talk about your existing skills. You are going to talk about your existing experience, which you already have. It is, you don't have to start from zero. You're going to talk about the new skills that you have developed on that certification course. So it is okay, you're taking a career break, but important thing is how well you have, what have you done in that career break for yourself. Another important thing is when you face the interview round, don't try to hide anything, okay, from the employer. Tell them what you are doing in that. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't try to hide anything from the recruiters. Don't try to hide anything from the HR. Just be honest and upfront in front of them. Okay. See, ultimately, no one is going to judge you. For them, the important is that whether they have got that right candidate for that right role. Okay. So it's okay for the women to go on career breaks, but it is depends on what you are going to do during that career break. That's important.
Okay, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah. So, do you think that gap in resume also somewhere affects the chances of hiring of a candidate?
No, no, it doesn't. It's okay, to, I don't agree with having a career track, or, if you have a career gap and you think that, okay, what if other people have more skills than me? They don't have any career breaks, they don't have any career tracks, they will be the better person to get hired for that role. No. See, important thing I feel is that make sure that, when you are on that career gap, whether you're having, you should be very upfront in front of the recruiters, in front of the employers, that why were you on that career gap. Many people take the career gap because they want to take care of the family. Some take career gap because they are, pursuing their masters in some foreign country, okay, for the further education, or maybe, they're just dealing some personal problem. Uh, Maybe some people, take career gaps because they have started their new venture, they have started their new, startup company, or maybe, they didn't wanted to do any routine job like 9 to 5. Maybe they just wanted to do any freelance work and earn money from them. So the question is that what matters is what have you done since then when you were on the career path. Another important thing is just be very honest that why you took that career path. What was the exact reason? Don't try to hide anything. Don't try to, tell the recruiter. Don't feel guilty about it. See, the bigger problem is, the candidates, what I see is they're not comfortable talking about their career paths. They're trying to hide it. So, no, you should not be doing it. Recruiters just want to know the reason for the career gap. That's it. And, the clear picture is, uh, your experience, your attitude towards that career gap, your skills, and, whether you are relevant for that role. And then you will be hired for that. Even if you have the career gap, but you have the right attitude, you have the skills, you are relevant for that role, you can still be hired for that role.
And you were also talking about LinkedIn. So, what is the role that LinkedIn plays in terms of hiring? Like, do you go through the LinkedIn account after speaking to a candidate? What are the things that you see there? And how a candidate should build their LinkedIn account to get hired?
Oh God. I just want to give a biggest suggestion to those applying for the job. LinkedIn is literally taking the market. It is speaking volumes about your professional journey. So when I say, about the LinkedIn part, see, the most important section on the LinkedIn is the about section. The about section on the LinkedIn it should be literally speaking about your professional journey. The next is the skills section, the experience section. Make sure it is perfectly updated. Your skills should be aligned for those roles. Your experience should be speaking about what you have learned in that. Okay. Many people make common mistakes on LinkedIn as they don't have a professional banner, they don't have a professional photo. Instead of a professional photo, I find some flower or a teddy in that. Please don't do these mistakes in those LinkedIn profile. Please have a professional photo and please have a proper banner, because ultimately LinkedIn is something called personal branding. You are branding yourself. Okay. Another thing is people worry about is on LinkedIn is that they start putting content, random content. They think, okay, LinkedIn is like Facebook and Instagram and they should. Please don't do that. It's a professional platform. You should make sure that you are selling a proper content. People are going to read that content. When you are going to apply for that, for any specific role, people are going to look at what all you have posted so far. So when you are posting something, don't think it's a Facebook and you have, posted something which is irrelevant, which is not aligning with your professional role. Make sure that your content is clear and concise. Another thing people literally panic is, oh, should I post every day? Please, you don't have to be active every day on LinkedIn and you have to post something. No, it is okay if you are putting 2 or 3 posts in a week. That is still workable. Okay. But what important is how active you are on LinkedIn, how you are engaging yourself, how beautifully you are networking on the LinkedIn. Networking in the sense like what you can do is that you should connect, if you're looking for any job, you should connect with those companies, go to you should be liking their pages, what content they are posting. You should add your own professional comment in their posts. So this shows that you know how active you are on LinkedIn. And please optimize your LinkedIn properly because it is definitely speaking about your professional journey. It is not an Instagram, it is not a Facebook, it is not some other thread or an app. It's talking about your professional journey. So you should have, see, the important thing is that when I see LinkedIn, you should have the important thing, the about section, the experience section, and the skills section. These three things are very important. Number four, how active you are on LinkedIn. These 4 pointers are very important when it comes to LinkedIn.
This is very important question. When it's about salary negotiation, a lot of people have that mindset कि हमें खुद से नहीं बोलना चाहिए, हम मतलब सामने वाला कुछ अच्छा हाइक देना चाहिए. So people don't speak कि मुझे better hike चाहिए, I'm not happy with this hike. And then there are other people who are like कि बोलेंगे तभी तो better hike मिलेगा. And then they are like, I'm not happy with this, I want more. So what do you suggest is the right way for salary negotiation?
See, the most common mistake, about negotiating on the salary, which I feel is, the candidates, they don't understand their market value. Okay, how much they want to ask. Number two is they have the fear in their mind ki if I negotiate on the salary, what if I'm chucked out of the job? What if other candidate is better than me because he's not asked about the salary and maybe he gets placed. So they really get afraid to negotiate on that part. See, firstly, what I feel is that before you go on the discussion on the salary part, you should try to understand, figure out some companies, okay, where they are offering similar roles, similar position, similar roles, similar position, similar same experience, the location and industry. How much are they offering? You need to understand the market also. That what different, even if the company is different. But if the location, industry, skills, same level of experience, same role, how much are they offering? You need to do that homework first, okay? And see, when people negotiate on the salary, I find it becomes a little argumentative tone. Please don't have that. You should not have that argumentative tone of, it should not become a fight during an interview. And people go and say, "Oh, I am expecting this much of salary because I think I deserve this much." Please don't go and say all these blunders when you are on the interview. Instead, instead I would suggest people to go and say that, I want I want this much because I feel I can add for this role. You should know how to present correct words when you are negotiating your salary. You should say, because instead of just simply going and talking about your salary, start talking about your achievements, start talking about your experience, okay? Start talking about the specialized skills that you have for that role. So what happens is, when you have those, when you're talking about yourself, your achievements, your skills, your responsibilities that you will be taking on for that role, so what happens is, uh, when you start selling yourself in that way, when you talk about yourself, so automatically the negotiation comes in your favor at that point of time. Because, and I would suggest one important thing: when it comes to the salary discussion, make sure it is the last part or the mid part. The salary or the compensation part should not be the first topic of your interview. Never do that. Never. It should not happen. Salary, see, I personally feel that don't make compensation, as the first topic. First, you should give tell about your values, what values you can add to this organization, what responsibilities and skills you will be giving in, how much you are going to your inputs for the company, and then you talk about your salary, then you negotiate. See, somewhere I feel that if I put it in the right set of words, it's not about salary negotiation, is not about how much you are demanding more. It's about salary negotiation. It should be more about the professional conversation about your value. That's the right set. Professional, yeah, professional conversation about your values. It should be like
And if somebody wants to enter into HR, they want to make their career into human resources, maybe as a recruiter or hiring manager. So, what would you suggest them, like how they can start?
they want to join in any company or they want to start their own company.
They want to join or they want to start as a HR or as a recruiter. So, how they can enter into that field?
If they want to join in any company, right?
Huh.
So, firstly, do you have those relevant degrees? Are you having this MBA in HR or BBA in HR? Most importantly, your degrees needs to have that. Okay. For example, if you are also not from the HR background, at least make sure you have done some certification courses. You have done certain internships which are relevant to the recruitment market. Because suddenly someone, if they want to enter into the recruitment market, if they want to get into the HR role, learn the end-to-end recruitment process. So I personally feel you need to have those relevant degrees. If you
Hmm.
don't have those relevant degrees, try to do some certification courses. Okay. And what I feel is, nowadays, you need to have the skills. Okay. And doing some unpaid internships also, which are on the HR background, even that will add value. Okay. Then you will be able to give your proper interviews in the market. So if someone wants to enter into the HR, make sure you have the skills, make sure you have the experience to get into the market. Otherwise, it gets difficult.
And one piece of advice for the candidates who are looking out for job.
Okay, one important piece of advice is, please don't randomly apply for hundreds of jobs. I feel candidates nowadays, especially the freshers or someone with the mid junior roles, they're just, going on the Indeed, Naukri, tuck, 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 applied on hundreds of jobs. Please don't do that. If your, please, important thing is, read the job description properly. You need to understand what is the job requirement, what is the job really demanding, then please tailor your CV according to that job. You can't have one generic CV and applying for all the roles. Please tailor your CV as per that job role. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. Prepare yourself for that interview. And even after doing all this, if you are not selected for that role, please don't feel disheartened that, oh, after doing so much, I still got rejected. These rejections should not define your skills, your background, your expertise. It is okay. Maybe you have got rejected for that role. Maybe that there is some other good candidate who's much more better fit than you. But please don't stop your, growth journey. Don't stop learning. Don't be demotivated or disheartened. I would suggest you to understand the job market, read the job descriptions, proper CVs, optimize your LinkedIn, connect, do networking. Nowadays, it is very important to do networking. A lot of channels. LinkedIn is the most common hubs. I would suggest go to the companies, go to the people section, figure out who's the HR, figure out who's the co-founder. Just send them a. Just don't tell them I'm looking for the job. Just tell them, talk about that. Hey, I just came across role in your company. I am having these many years of experience. I have these many skills which are quite well aligned with the job description. So do some networking also. Don't randomly, don't apply on an empty glass, I feel. Just think and then apply for the roles. So in that way, you'll have a better prospect of getting the job. And don't be disheartened or demotivated if you're not getting interview call. There is some mistake, that is why you are not getting it. Or maybe there is some other good candidate who's much more better fit for that role.
Whatever you mentioned, I have made those mistakes. So I hope that whoever is going to watch this podcast, they get take this suggestion and they improve on their part, whether it's about resume and how to give interview.
And I hope I have added a value to their career journey and to all the job seekers who are looking for the jobs. I would wish them a good luck, all the best for their job hunting. I'm sure whoever's looking for the job, they'll definitely get the right fit for the right role. So all the best to all the job seekers who are looking for a job.